Meh, meh, meh.
Meh. See?
Listen here, see? We're the only cool kids in this creek, see?
We are not going to panic.
Look at this guy, he's a giant robot.
Shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying.
Great idea, great idea!
What am I, a fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
An icosahedron.
Icosahedron every day.
Sometimes twice a day.
Captain James T. Kirk once said, "May the force be with you."
What the heck even happened to you, man? Time to big brain. What is the airwolf of trains?
Good evening, people of the creek, and welcome to episode 154 of the Blockbrothers Show, the weekly podcast where we watch a random episode of a different TV show each and every week. I'm one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I'm your other host, NeoCal.
And this week we are finishing off our theme for the month of March, which was chosen by our longtime listener and Patreon subscriber, Jared. Big shout out to him.
That's right, Jared Block.
The Jared block, yes.
Oh, I get Blockbrothers, and we do the programming blocks. Not because we're blockheads. That makes so much more sense.
Well, a programming block is also like literally like a group of shows, like something like the Disney Afternoon, which we reviewed on this podcast earlier or late last year when it was still known as the Lasercomb podcast. That's an example of like a TV block. That's why I call them a block of episodes. But also the fact that this is the Blockbrothers show.
That's right.
This is the Blockbrothers show, and I am one of your Blockbrothers, the Siege.
So we got Siege, we got Cal, we got shows. Jared, he picked some good ones, I must say.
He did.
I didn't know that kids TV was still good. Not to hype our patron Jared. The rest of you guys, come on. Okay. Come on. No, I 3-2-1 Penguins is a benchmark for how bad things can get. And we can be appreciative of that. I would not have known through suffering.
For better or worse. For better or worse, 3-2-1 Penguins is part of the official Blockbrothers Hall of Fame.
And on the other end of
maybe not for the way one might assume, but
enemies of the show 3-2-1 Penguins. It has everything that you want. Children's education, healthy Christian values, 3D animation, penguins in space. How bad could it be, right?
Penguins and space.
Yeah.
And also
space.
Penguins in space.
In space. But
also a weird Elvis penguin because, you know, an Elvis caricature is something that's really going to connect with children in, you know, the 21st century.
Wasn't his first wife like 14 when they got?
Probably.
Right. Yeah, good point. Mom, who's Elvis? Let's just not talk about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All that pop culture cachet that Elvis Presley has with children of the 21st century.
With Gen A. Yeah. Gen Z and Gen A. You know, that instant recognizable face amongst the youth of today, Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
I guarantee you go up to like any 5 to 15-year-old, ask them if they know about Elvis Presley, probably 15 years old, right? But then ask them if they know who Mr. Beast is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I barely know who Mr. Beast is, but I bet you they would know.
I know who Mr. Beast is entirely because of Ricky and Elliot of Internet Today, whom I've been a fan of. I've mentioned them before.
I don't even know what Mr. Beast sounds like. I only know Ricky and Elliot's impression of him.
Yeah,
they kind of talk really loud like this.
That's kind of like how I've never really like listened to much of the Joe Rogan Experience, nor do I intend to. But I actually, when I think of Joe Rogan, I actually think of on the Sick and Wrong podcast, which is over now, but I listened to it for many, many years. They're like very like dipshit impressions of Joe Rogan that they would do. That's what I think of Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
Shit.
Oh, no shit. Jamie, look that up.
But anyway,
one of our political leaders went on his show. By the way, we're in Canada, folks, and we've got a political leader of our conservative movement called PP, Mr. PP. To those who aren't close with him, he went on the Joe Rogan Experience.
I read about that,
and he didn't understand a 420 joke.
That does not surprise me, even Rogan's in the slightest.
Rogan's very like pro independent rights. He's like pro hunting, pro like drug, like so what's it called? Legalization, pro like all that stuff, right? And he started talking about how like, oh, Canada's had like legal weed for 10 years. Oh, hell yeah. And he started talking about how like it should have happened like a lot sooner and that kind of thing. PP voted against the legalization.
Well,
and neither.
Well, and it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that about Joe Rogan because it's like his political affiliation tends to lean towards the people who would not be for those things, which I find a little interesting.
Who knows where that guy is? Right? Like he's like pro, like sorry, not necessarily legalization of all drugs, but I know that he wants to what's it called? Decriminalize.
I'm pretty sure he endorsed Trump the last election.
Oh, sure doesn't now.
But anyway,
things to say. But we've got things to say.
We've got things to say, and we don't have a lot of time to do it. And this is not the Cal and Siege political show.
That's right. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, if you want the Cal and Siege political show, actually, it's just us complaining and talking and excitedly, candidly explaining things that go on a little bit more personal.
Yes, if you want to hear us do that most weeks, you can go to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. $5 a month gets you the access to the Cal and Siege Super Show. It's an exclusive podcast where we tend to talk about whatever, kind of like what we've been doing on this episode of the Blockbrothers show. But we get a little further off into the weeds.
It's because we have no directive.
Sometimes we talk politics. Sometimes we talk about movies. Sometimes I bitch about the laundry situation in my apartment building. The kind of stuff you want to hear for $5 a month.
You want to hear the old people sabotage Siege's laundry in nefarious old people ways. Or local talk involving apparently guns. Check out the Super Show.
That's right. Anyway, Craig of the Creek.
Who's gonna help when the ginger overwhelms and the mysteries are piled high? Who's gonna be around, never gonna let you down when you run a wild ride? Your friends are always by your side. It's Craig of the Creek, he's gonna sing it down. It's Craig of the Creek, he's gonna sing it down. It's Craig of the Creek.
We put it through the old random number generator, as we do with every show that we cover on this podcast. We put the episode count through the old random number generator, and we landed on the season 2, episode 21, Sleepover at JP's.
That's right.
I had a friend named JP when I was a kid.
What's his last name? Morgan.
Wikipedia says it's episode 23. But
well, whichever episode it is, god damn it.
But on Teletoon, I talked about this last week. We go by the whatever episode we land on, whatever the episode
the title.
Whatever the title is that corresponds with the number that we land on Wikipedia is what we watch. Now, a lot of the times we'll go to some streaming service and it will be somewhere else, but that's the episode we landed on, damn it, so that's the episode we're going to watch. Sleepover at JP's. Originally aired on April 25th of 2020. I didn't know this show was that new. So basically what happens in this episode is our main characters seem to be these 3 kids. The titular character, Craig, and his friends, JP and Kelsey. JP is having a sleepover at his house, and very adorably, he's so stoked about this that he's playing host, right away. He has snacks set up for them. He has
cleaning.
He's all cleaning up. He has snacks for them. He has perfectly laminated invitations that are just adorably just pieces of paper in a Ziploc bag.
I really like how wholesome the friends are. I just want to come out and say,
wholesome.
But in a really good way. Man, if kids are actually friends like this, man, we're seeing change come along, because you compare this and then the 3 friends that are Ed, and Eddie. And sorry if you're listening to this. I liked the show. I watched it with my brother growing up. We had both liked it or whatever. Revisiting that in my late 30s, I'm like, these kids are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not like the show as an adult. And it's fine. Lots of people can. We review things and we've learned to remove our feelings from our nostalgia.
Yes.
This, man, I liked that. He's like, wow. Craig's like, wow. JP, perfectly laminated invitations when it's just us, man. And it's like you said, it's just plastic, Ziplocs.
It's just a piece of paper,
handwritten
piece of paper in a Ziploc bag. It's adorable.
And they eat I can't imagine how gross it is. So he serves them. Man, fuck. Real talk. I wonder who they got to write these shows, because they have
he serves
craft dinner with wieners.
Yeah, he serves
mac and cheese with wieners.
Yeah, Kraft mac and cheese with hot dog wieners. What does he call it in the episode?
Completely nude, mac and hot dogs.
Right. Yeah.
Because he doesn't add the cheese sauce.
Right.
And there's no ketchup or anything on it. Which he eats all the cheese sauce. At the beginning, he just pours it into his mouth, and I'm like, but we find out later that his older sister and particularly his mom.
There is Cheetos mac and cheese nowadays.
I don't know if I should be intrigued
or
very insulted.
You should.
I think I'm intrigued.
The cheesy jalapeno Cheetos mac and cheese, you can get it at any grocery store. Highly recommended. It's very good.
I do like me some Cheetos, but I like the hard ones, which are not Cheetos. Those are cheesies. Yeah. So in Canada, I don't know if they have them down there in the States.
Hawkins cheesies? No, they don't.
But we have something called cheesies.
What? Well,
and they're crunchy and hard, and I like those way more than
they're crunchy and hard, but they're
Cheetos.
They're not the same as Cheetos.
No.
Well, there's regular Cheetos, and then there's also Cheetos Puffs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Barbara's. Barbara's is an American product, so it would be down there. Barbara's also makes like cheese puffs and crunchy
Ooh, I
cheese
should try the
things.
Barbara's. I like the
Barbara's are pretty
crunchy
good.
ones, is what I'm saying.
I prefer the puffy ones. Hawkins cheesies are different though because they're made with corn.
Oh,
And so like they if like try one of those and then try like a crunchy Cheeto and they taste quite different from one another.
maybe I'll have a cheesy snack spread and I'll like be like a wine taster and I'll go to each one. Hmm. Hmm. And at the very end, I like lick my pinky and dip it into craft dinner.
You dip it into like cheesy jalapeno Cheetos mac and cheese. Uh,
Um, yeah,
anyway,
naked
we're
the naked craft dinner.
uh,
So his friends are very appreciative of all this.
they are. We meet his sister, who Craig is like, "Oh, hello, Miss," like whatever,
Whatever their
and
last name is. And
and
what's their other friend's name with the bird?
Kelsey.
Kelsey's like, dude, don't say Miss Smith or whatever the last name was. That's his sister, not his mom. And he's like, I don't know. She's an adult and I've never met her. Or she's older and I've never met her.
No, she's an
I got
adult.
Is she an
They
adult?
mentioned that she's a nurse.
Oh, she's a nurse, right?
Yeah, so she's a young adult. Um, Sleepover gets underway. JP is really stoked to basically watch Saturday Night Live.
It's like a cartoonish version of Saturday Night Live, like
They
for like
even
a
they call
younger
it
audience.
he calls it Saturday Late Night Live.
It's SLNL,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this basically the Saturday Night Live type show that he's really excited about. There's this one particular recurring bit with like a skateboarding lawyer that he is a really big fan
Sounds
of.
pretty rad.
It does sound pretty rad, radical even.
Yeah. Um, but as they're winding down for the night and they're gathered around eating their snacks, um, they see that there are alien floodlights coming in from outside.
Yes, because JP is telling a basically like a campfire story. They're all
Yeah,
sitting
and
in. He's basically telling a campfire story about alien
yeah, and the
invasion.
others are like, really aliens? And then there's like a wipe screen, and it turns to Bird Girl, and she's like, aliens!
Yeah,
Like right away. But they find out it's not aliens. It's kids playing flashlight tag.
yeah. I didn't know it was a thing.
I didn't know it was a thing. Also, it's easier to hit people with a flat, like
With a
shine the
beam
light
of
on people
light.
with a
With a
beam of light than
huge
they're
beam
making
of
it
light.
out to. Than they're making it out to be.
So they find out it's flashlight tag. Kelsey and Craig want to go and play. JP is like, "Oh, but we're gonna miss SNL," and they're like, "No, let's go. This is a." Craig says the line. He's like, "This is a once in a nighttime opportunity."
I love that. This is a once in a nighttime opportunity, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, he's got you there.
So they go and play. They're like, "Oh, we'll play tag for a bit, and then we'll come back and watch your show." And JP is like, "Well, okay." So they go. Kelsey gets tagged and gets thrown in tree jail.
Yeah, tree jail.
Tree
And then a
jail.
big kid comes, like I guess some kids that
Boris.
are part of like the scouts are playing too. And they're like, all right, there's only one here are the rules about tree jail. You have to be touching the tree jail at all times. That is all the rules of the tree jail.
Yeah, and he's this big, like hulking kid with like a like light like Russian accent.
Like
His
an
name's
Eastern
Boris.
European accent. And then it's hilarious. He enters like sentry mode, like from a video game, and he just goes boop, 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 like a cone in front of like a Metal Gear Solid
Yeah, as he's
guard.
like turning the flashlight around in a very mechanical manner, and I'm like and is mouthing the sound effects, and I'm like whoever wrote this show remembers what it was like to be a kid.
That's what I mean. I was like, okay, whoever wrote this is like onto something, because like there's some, they actually remember what it was like to be a kid, and maybe there's rules of like flashlight tag. Like maybe you have to catch them on, like you have to shine it on the ground where their leg is, because they almost seem to be aiming too low, and they're moving their arm like really slowly and stuff when they're like trying to get them. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Man, the beam of light travels at the speed of light. Y'all telling me you can't hit these kids with a flashlight? But what happens when Kelsey is captured because she thinks she can like take them down? Oh, the baby thing. Okay, so they all hear a baby, and they're like, "Oh, there's a baby out here," and they go, and there's like a little bundled up like baby, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay, we'll take you to your mom." And some kid like pops out wearing like scout like gear and is like, "Ha, you fell for it," and they're like, I can't remember his name, but it was like, Marvin, like, man, you pretended to be a baby? We could have adopted you.
It's a good line.
And I really liked that. Two of them get away, right?
Yeah.
And they go to break Kelsey out. So I guess it's kind of almost like touch tag or capture the flag. If people can get to the tree, you can like free them, I guess.
Yeah, JP is getting upset at this point because he's like, "Oh, we're gonna miss SNL." Um, he's like, I wanted to get back in time to miss SNL. Like, what are we gonna do now? Kelsey's caught. We're gonna miss it. And Craig is like, "Okay, well, all right, we'll come up with a plan. We'll rescue her, and then we'll go back."
We'll use stealth.
Yeah. So they hatch a like a little scheme to to free her,
Mm-hmm.
and they get to the tree. I can't remember, like some stuff happens along the way, but they get to the tree
They all end up getting caught. Yeah.
and they all end up getting caught. And JP is like even more upset at this point, and they're like, "What's the big deal about this show anyway? It's just a TV show. We'll like watch it on YouTube tomorrow or something." And JP reveals that this was really his mom works really late. This kid, by the way, this kid seems to love his mom like a lot and has a great relationship with his mom. And
Damn.
I wish this was real life.
There's some heart here, and he's like, and you guys have never met her. I don't know what the situation with their dad is. He wasn't around. Maybe
it doesn't
not
come
around.
up, yeah.
But it doesn't come up, and it's like, oh dang, yeah, we haven't met her. And I usually watch the show with her, so like that's
a thing that
meet her.
That's the thing that me and my mom get to do together, and like I wanted you guys to be there too, so you could actually get to meet her. And they're like, "Well, why didn't you just say so?" And he's like, "Well, because you think it was lame. Hey guys, you want to come over and meet my mommy?" And then Kelsey's like,
well,
you don't have to say mommy, you know, you can just say mom, and it doesn't sound as weird, or it doesn't sound as lame.
And he's
or
like,
whatever.
"Hey guys, you want to come over and like
meet my mom?
Stay up late and meet my mom?" Oh,
and he's like, "Wait, you're right. That doesn't sound lame at all. I never thought of that."
So the guy that's their jailer,
Boris,
I like that they have to adhere to the rules. Like they can't just say, "Well, we're done playing, guys. Have a good night." Like the like kids act like, you know, all the rules are the rules. We're in free jail. He's like, oh, your words
we don't make the rules, but god damn it, we are going to follow them.
But by golly, we're going to follow them. He's like, your words have touched me. Go, be free of tree jail. And it's like, oh, but we can't. There's only one rule of tree jail. And it's like, but that's only if there is tree. And he like goes over and he grabs
hilariously. Bear hugs the tree and rips it like right out of the ground. And I'm like, holy shit, this kid.
Holy shit.
This kid's the fucking Hulk here.
And he's holding it above his head. He's like, now, quickly, go, be with your mother.
And then the
And
tree
they're like,
just falls
wow.
on him.
And then it's just like, wow, thank you. And they all like run off, including some candy kid. There's like a kid who's always like spilling candy. Everyone knows that kid. They all run off, and he's like, oh, and his eyes are like watering. He's like, it's good to see them.
And if you
Such a
didn't
good
know
ending.
a kid who was always spilling things, you were probably that kid.
It was you. You were the kid spilling candy. And then the tree slowly like sinks down and like either pushes him into the ground or like lands on him or something. And they run home. And the turns out their mom's not there yet. But they get to be there when the mom comes home.
But the mom does show up pretty quick.
He runs and gives her a hug. And she's all like, oh, these are your friends, huh? It's like, okay, I've got some gifts for you guys.
And it's
like peanuts or snacks.
It's airplane snacks. And Craig
has a funny line here.
Craig has a funny line. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly, but he says something along the lines of, wow, I love airplane food in a non-airplane setting.
Yeah. Is there anything better than airplane snacks when you're not in an airplane setting?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something
And I'm
like that, yeah.
Damn, he's right. And I got something for you too, JP. And it's in Idaho. Like, I guess whenever she flies to a different state, she'll like try to get like in like a souvenir from the state.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and puts it on the fridge.
That's
cute.
And
they're all hanging out.
Well, and he
heat up some nude mac and wiener.
Yeah, he goes and wakes up his sister, and it's like, "Hey, mom's home."
She was asleep.
Yeah, she was asleep. He's like, "Hey, mom's home. Do you want to come join us?" And she's basically like, "Hell yeah." He's like, "Look, I have leftovers for you." And she's like, "Oh, great, thanks. Did you hold the cheese sauce or something like that?" And he's like, "You bet."
And I'm like, aha, so that's why they like naked mac and wieners. It's because their mom doesn't like the cheese sauce.
The sister.
Or the sister, or or maybe both. Either way, they all don't like it. Well, JP likes it, but he respects the others don't. And so then it shows them all talking up and catching up, and they're all hanging out at the table. And they're not even in the living room, but we get a shot of
the skateboarding
like SLNL on the TV playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And Your Honor, I'm gonna say that the defense rests with a kickflip or something, like that. And I think like the episodes are fairly short. I think that's it.
That's pretty much it. I thought the ending was extremely sweet. The mom coming home, him being excited to see his mom, her bringing like gifts for him and his friends, going and waking up the sister so they could all like have dinner together and like have the TV show that they're that he's really crazy about, like on in the back. I don't know. I found it really, really sweet and actually kind of touching. I teared up a little bit.
No, like there's like heart in here. Even when they're out playing like tag and it's like, haha, got you, Kelsey. And it's like, oh, haha, but you didn't get my bird. The person just lifts the flashlight up like a little bit and they're like, oh, like they just lift it up and get the bird and like the flashlight. Little jokes. Like I remember when Kelsey introduces herself, it's like, I have a bird.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? And the fact that they're out, the older sister is like sleeping, they're just coming and going. Like that kind of feels like what it was like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like just like coming home at like 11 p.m. or like midnight and running around like with your friends, like the neighborhood friends. Man, I feel like the writers fucking like they're either very young or they have vivid memories of when they were actually kids.
Like I said earlier, the people who wrote this show like remember what it was like to be a kid.
Mm-hmm. And I actually quite like the how wholesome it is.
Me too.
It managed to be funny. Without having just like jerk kids. The way we grew up, cartoons is 90% of all the characters were just huge assholes. But then things resolved themselves somehow. Not all kid shows, like you're looking at younger kid shows weren't like that, but like the edgy ones, right? Like for like maybe 10-year-olds or something like that, tended to be pretty cringe. And I must say that I'm coming around. I think these newer kid shows, dare I say, they may be better.
Yeah, much like I don't know if I said this on air on the last episode about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, but if I had kids, I don't, but if I did, this is the kind of stuff I would want them to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that I'd watch with them.
Yeah,
That's the big takeaway, right? There's only so much Bluey I might be able to watch. But like this, like this is quite wholesome and funny and well written. It captures like the good parts of like what it's like being like a kid.
I'm just gonna say it. Jared is dishing out the bangers. I think this might be another. I think this might get added to the maybe the top 20, top 10, top 20 of shows that we've covered on here, much like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
And both of them very, I think, are pretty dang good as far as, especially for, well, just in general, but especially for like kids programming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like, dang, what, like there needs to be more stuff like this. And I get hung up like on like the worst ones or whatever, but like, by golly, folks, there's some there's some bad kid shows out there.
Yes.
So I'm really
less 3-2-1 penguins. More of this, please.
Yeah,
more of stuff like this. So Cal, you just caught a random episode of Craig of the Creek. Are you going to be tuning in again?
Hell yeah. This was like very good. The animation was very cute and unique. Somebody mentions JP's long head. He's like, go be free, see your mother, go long-headed child and see your mother. And I'm like, yeah.
The animation kind of reminds me of Steven Universe.
It's got the rounded, like,
I think this might have been or is just like an animation style that's kind of been in vogue for the past like decade or so.
For the past decade, there's kind of like a rounded character silhouette design.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it still ends up being unique, and I really liked that.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. I would also tune in again. In fact, I signed up. I had a hard time actually finding this anywhere. Folks, we're in Canada, so like availability of shows digitally is different here.
Mm-hmm.
Is oftentimes
this was oddly difficult to find. I even went to go pay for it and couldn't find it.
Yeah. The one place I was able to find it by checking out the Just Watch app was Teletoon Plus, which I thought Teletoon was dead. As a channel, it's dead. But apparently it still exists as a streaming service. And it had a free 30-day trial. So yes, I would tune in again. I'm going to get the most out of that 30-day trial. And I'm going to watch more Craig of the Creek. This show is officially Siege sanctioned.
2 shows in a row?
2 in a row.
Siege sanctioned? So much so that you're willing to buy a whole month of Teletoon Plus for it? I mean, it was free, but...
Yes, I signed up for a free 30-day trial of Teletoon Plus to watch Craig of the Creek, and let me tell you, money well spent.
Money, you're gonna get every penny's worth.
Yeah. Well, that was episode 154 of the Blockbrothers show. We will be back next time with, well, I posed the idea for I posed the random idea. I just had a thought a couple days ago. I'm like, and I asked our patrons in our Discord, which you can go and check out by clicking the join link in the description of this episode and every other episode of this show. I posed the question. I'm like, because I had a random thought. I'm like, what about a dinosaur-themed month? What do you guys think of that? And people seem to be into the idea. So April, I'm going to call Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Hyphen might, as in might. Mighty.
Nice.
Dynamite. So
Excellent.
April is going to be a theme of, is going to be a block of shows where the central theme is dinosaurs. Just anything involving dinos. And we're going to start with Denver, the Last Dinosaur.
He's our friend. And a whole lot more.
And a whole lot more. Earworm of a theme song. I haven't seen the show in like 35 years, and that song still gets stuck in my head sometimes.
I have to admit, I don't think I've seen the show. I clearly missed out.
Hopefully the show itself lives up to the hype of its great theme song. So, to figure out what episode of Denver the Last Dinosaur we're going to watch, I'm going to hit screen share.
I'm vetoing Barney, by the way.
How dare you, sir? How fucking dare you?
I know. I'm a monster, basically.
Now what?
Not a
now
monster,
what are we going
I'm
to
just
watch?
ahead of the ABCs.
Now what are we going to cap off Dino Month with?
Basically nothing,
Basically, we might as well just cancel the podcast then.
right?
Okay.
The whole podcast.
The whole podcast. Okay, so Denver the Last Dinosaur had 50 episodes. So, random number generator, one number between 1 and 50, and here we go. Where it stops, only Denver will know.
30.
30. Oh, let's see. The Chinatown Caper. Denver, dressed in a Chinese lion robe and headdress, leads a mad chase for dog nappers in Chinatown during the Chinese New Year parade.
I'll allow it because he's a dinosaur. That sounds a little something that wouldn't be on cartoons nowadays.
I'm wary.
Hey, but here's the thing. That's our duty, right?
All right. The Chinatown Caper.
Like, ooh, and he's wearing he's dressed up like a if there's a hat and something to do. Oh, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll be back next time with that. And until then, I've been The Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoCal, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We will Denver your last dinosaur next time.
Ooh, there's no better than that. I want to know who this bow kid is. Look at this kid. They've got a bow. Think of all the sticks that they could absolutely harass the other kids in the creek with. A menace. I'm calling it. This kid's a menace.
Well, bye-bye.
Bye.